A plane that was about to take off suddenly crashed. It hit the ground without even lifting off, and in seconds, it exploded. The scene turned into chaos. Jack knew this disaster was coming, but he couldn't stop it. This air disaster had been predicted 50 years ago. The location, the number of deaths, everything matched perfectly. 50 years earlier, a little girl named Emily wrote a letter. In that letter, she detailed every major disaster that would happen over the next 50 years. According to her notes, there were still 2 disasters left to occur. Determined to stop them, Jack tracked down Emily's old biology teacher, Mr. Collins. Through him, Jack learned Emily had a daughter named Sophie. Emily, however, had been in a coma for 2 years. Jack got Sophie's address from Mr. Collins and went to find her. When he arrived, he told Sophie about the letter and his plan to stop the disasters. But Sophie became furious after hearing it. Jack warned her that 170 lives would be at risk the next day. But Sophie brushed him off and walked away without a second glance. Frustrated, Jack went back home and studied the numbers from Emily's letter. As the time of the disaster approached, Jack finally pinpointed the location, the busy subway station in the city. He reported his findings to a local police officer. But the officer dismissed him as a crazy man and ignored his warning. Left with no choice, Jack headed to the subway station himself. At the station, Jack noticed a suspicious man holding something unusual. Jack quickly followed him. The chase led them onto a subway train. The man, cornered by another passenger, turned out to just be an innocent bystander. It was then that the real disaster unfolded. A runaway subway train sped into the station at 100 meters per second, crashing out of control. Chaos erupted as passengers ran for their lives. Jack narrowly escaped with his life, but he was devastated that he hadn't been able to prevent the tragedy. Later, Jack returned home. There, he found Sophie playing with her daughter. Sophie had seen the news about the subway crash and realized Jack had been telling the truth. Final prediction: Sophie would die on November 11th. Desperate to stop the next disaster, Sophie and Jack went to Emily's room to search for clues. Among Emily's things, they found a letter she had written. It contained strange numbers that looked like they might be written in reverse. As they searched the room, Jack discovered it was filled with photographs of various accidents, all events Emily had predicted. Under her bed, they found one final message written in English: "The end is near." Emily's last prediction was that Earth itself was about to face total destruction. Suddenly, the sound of a car horn outside broke the tension. The two of them rushed out to check what had happened. Jack noticed a man in black walking away and, acting on instinct, he chased after him. The scene ended with Jack following the man into the shadows, desperate for answers.